Everyone. Welcome to today's masterclass on prompt engineering. I hope you're able to see me and my voice is very clear to you. If not, I'll just want you guys to up your stream volume and we will be starting with our today's masterclass on prompt engineering. So, as you know, today AI has always been there and it has now surrounded our lives. And no matter what we do, it is something which will come in our way now and then. So what we want to do is actually utilize AI to the best possible way, in a best possible way, and then making the best use of the AI for our productivity, for our work that we are doing, in order to enhance our skills, in order to enhance our work, in order to enhance our productivity. Today, I, Kirti Garg, will be helping you down with how to use AI in the most effective manner. There is something called prompt engineering that we all do, and I think that is the topic which has driven you to attend this class today. So, is it really engineering? What is prompt? Why it is so important? What is the utilization of this prompt engineering in today's AI world? Is all that we are going to cover today in our today's session. I would request each one of you to please be very participative in the session and ask questions in the chat box, which I'll be taking by the end of. Hello, hi everyone. Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to today's masterclass on prompt engineering. I hope you're able to see me and my voice is very clear to you. If not, I'll just want you guys to up your stream volume and we will be starting with our today's masterclass on prompt engineering. So, as you know, today AI has always been there and it has now surrounded our lives. And no matter what we do, it is something which will come in our way now and then. So, what we want to do is actually utilize AI to the best possible way, in a best possible way, and then making the best use of the AI for our productivity, for our work that we are doing, in order to enhance our skills, in order to enhance our work, in order to enhance our productivity. Today, I, Kirti Garg, will be helping you down with how to use AI in the most effective manner. There is something called prompt engineering that we all do, and I think that is the topic which has driven you to attend this class today. So, is it really engineering? What is prompt? Why it is so important? What is the utilization of this prompt engineering in today's AI world? Is all that we are going to cover today in our today's session. I would request each one of you to please be very participative in the session and ask questions in the chat box, which I'll be taking by the end of this session. Meanwhile, please allow me to share my screen and then we will dive into the world of AI, dive into the prompt engineering, what is to be done, how it needs to be done, and why is it that this prompt engineering has become a new job for the people or a new job description that has come in this particular domain. It's not far that we will be having different schools who will be or different colleges that will be teaching up the prompt engineering as a course or giving it out as a degree itself. Yeah. So I'm just gonna share my screen. Okay. So today's topic is prompt engineering basics and application. We will do some basic exercises also in order to get the best output from our best friend today, that is ChatGPT. So I'll be taking up the paid version of ChatGPT and giving you out certain prompts. We will do some exciting exercises in order to get the best output from this. And to get the best output from the AI, what is that we need is the best prompt or the right prompt uh, that we put as an input to the AI tools. And that's what it is. So, first of all, what is prompt engineering? It's nothing. It's something like you want to give out instructions to somebody so that he does your work properly. If you're a student, your teacher will guide you through what kind of an assignment, what type of an assignment you need to write. And if the specifications are correct, if she's able to put up the message in a very clear and concise manner to you, then only you'll be able to submit the assignment that she desires. And then only you will get those marks that you're looking for. Similar is the case with the job. If the manager is unclear or he's not specific about a task, we end up in a difficult situation because the output may or may not be as per the manager's understanding or what he has been designing for. Hence, all these things can happen with an AI as well, because AI is no human. It can be again debatable. People say it's more human today, but I will not dive into that particular part. Rather, I'll just keep myself to prompt engineering at this moment. So it's basically the practice of designing and refining our text and text prompts or specific text prompts to guide these models. When I say guide these models, that is to guide the AI in generating the desired outputs. Because when we are sitting there, whatever we are inputting into these transformer based language models, based on that only they will give us the output. So prompt engineering basically involves what do we say to get what we want. So it involves crafting clear and specific instructions, and it allows the model to have that sufficient time, which is microseconds, to process the information. But when you say that if I'm clear that what I need, why there has to be a course about it, why there has to be a master class about it for that matter today, it's not that simple. When we are crafting our inputs for the AI, there are certain mistakes that we do. It's not clear, it's not concise, we keep on repeating ourselves, we end up confusing the AI, and hence we don't get the output in seconds that we want. Rather, we end up spending a lot of time on these prompting and then finally getting the results. Sometimes we don't get the results at all. So in order to improve that, we will be learning all these things today. Please keep all your queries in the chat box. I really want it to be an interactive session, and this will help us going. It will help you get the maximum out of this masterclass. Okay, there are three types of prompt engineering. Basically, we have three major approaches towards prompting. What do we want and how do we get the output? So the art that you're seeing on the screen right now, you can have a short prompt also. Like you could just give out one line prompt to the AI and get this thing done. Or you can build this through the chain of prompting. Some people involves to have more and more details about it, and they want to see it happening as well. So that we call chain of thought prompting, and then generated knowledge prompting also, because there is some kind of information which is already there with the AI because of the huge data that it processes. That's another way of getting the outputs, which is generated knowledge prompting. Now, what are these types? What we do in these communication? Mostly what we have seen so far in terms of ChatGPT, in terms of Perplexity, in terms of Midjourney, and many other AI models that we have seen today. It's a text to text model or it's a text to image model. Now, somebody would come and say that now it's text to video as well. Yes, people have come up with multiple models today. In video, there is something called Sora, which is launched by OpenAI itself. So it's the process from where we can get from text to video model as well. So that's how the evolution of AI has also started. It is a process of structuring the text so that it can be understood by the AI model and it can be interpreted by the AI model. And once both these things, interpretation and understanding, has been done by the AI model, they will give you the output that you need. And one more thing which one should know, that the prompt engineering is enabled by in context learning. Basically, the more you ask, the more you feed to the AI, it has its ability to learn from its prompts also. If you are having the chain of thoughts prompting, every thought that you're putting across on the AI, it will help the model, the AI model, to learn it. So the next time when you are asking for the for any output, it will keep in mind the kind of prompting you have done in the past. So that's how amazing AI has been. Now, this question I have got so many times in my previous lectures or in my previous classes: is prompt engineering coding? I prefer that prompt engineering is more about communicating than coding. It's more about communicating, right? We're telling what we need, and then it gives us what we need. So, but yes, one more thing is there when we are saying it's communicating. If I communicate to prompt engineering that I need a code, it will give me that. That's how amazing it is. Now, if I want to be a prompt engineer, what will I be doing? If I am a prompt engineering, what is that is expected out from me? So it basically, a prompt engineer is specialized in designing, developing, and refining all these prompts. Now, when we say designing, developing, and refining, what do we mean by that? That simply means that we want to optimize on the time. We want to optimize on the output. Basically, we want to optimize on the prompt performance. And it will help us get or boost our productivity. And it helps in improving the AI prompt generation process for various other applications. That's what the role of a prompt engineer is. Now, this is one example. I'll take up the examples. Now, of course, when we talk about prompt engineering, a new designation that has come to you, what is the salary that you expect? So I've put in the Indian data, and since you are in multiple countries, I would want to know the kind of salaries you have seen people drawing as a prompt engineer. On an average, herein we have seen 20 lakhs per annum kind of a salary, which has been earned by these prompt engineers. It's a huge amount. And what are you doing? You are just telling or training a particular AI model to give you the desired output based on the input that you're putting in. So please take care of these things. And I would again ask for all these salary brackets that you have seen in and around you, in your country, what has been there for the prompt engineer. It will help me add this to my data also. Now, what are the two parts of the prompt? I usually say that when you are putting or when you're giving out instructions, make it very clear and try to keep it as concise as possible. So there are two parts that I usually tell people to utilize when they are putting up a prompt or they are writing a prompt. The first sentence or the first two sentences needs to focus on the background, because you might be knowing what are you looking out for, but it's not something which is there with the AI. So you need to feed them this. And then you need to actually mention the task. Now, for example, I want to tell an AI, let's do an exercise. Give me a moment. I'll just quickly open my. I've written one of the very interesting this thing. What do you call it? Very interesting prompt for you. So without wasting any time, I'm just mentioning it. Imagine a future where humans can live on another planet. This is the background that I'm giving. The second thing which I'm saying, now describe the science behind how would they survive. For example, oxygen production, water, food, basic necessities, basically I've mentioned. and any new species or discoveries they might encounter. I want to ask them. I want to ask ChatGPT. This is the kind of interface. Now, of course, somebody would say that this is not the interface that they have seen on GPT. This is the chatbot that we have created. So I'm just going to press enter and see what is the response that we get. So it is giving me all kind of details about the resources that I've mentioned. It's very clear in very significant amount of information I have got from ChatGPT in this case. This is the result of the prompting, the right prompt that you're putting in. If you're not satisfied, then you keep on feeding the data. Okay, I'll take up another example. This is one of the favorites wherein we don't know how to plan our budgets. Like, you're planning for a class party with a limited budget of, let's say, $1,000. Create a detailed budget plan, including the cost, because I want to understand where do I put how much money. Discuss how you made your financial decisions to stay within budget. I want to understand what is the idea that he has kept in mind while making this as an output. Not saying that $600 I should spend on the food. Why? Because catering will take this much, platter will take this much, beverages will take this much. It has taken into account all these things: catering, beverages, and desserts. But by all means, I have not mentioned anything on the decoration. I've mentioned on the decorations also. Sorry, the decorations has been taken care. Entertainment has been taken care. You're getting my point. Final decisions. He's telling me what has been the key strategy for him, because he's saying that I'm prioritizing spending on food because it is central to the attendee's satisfaction. When he's using or leveraging DIY solutions to add personal touches so that people are involved in the party. Bulk purchases and generic brands, he has mentioned that we should go and help us stretch these budgets further. And he has talked about the free entertainment options. His mention is kept zero for the music. He's saying that played over a borrowed sound system. If you have one, it's good, but if not, then borrow one rather than paying so much. So this is the power of prompts, because if we are giving out the right information in a proper manner, we have given the background, we have given what we want in a very clear and precise manner, we will get the desired outputs. And that's what prompt engineering is all about. So these are the two parts that we've just talked about. That's how an AI model will work for you, and you will be able to get answers from there. Of course, I want to ask all of you if there are any prompts that you would want me to try on. Please mention it in the chat. We will be taking it up by the end of the session. Now, what are prompt tools? So basically, these are these textual templates. They will help you how to start or create a prompt. I will talk about this. There are certain tools when we say that you need to know about prompting. There has to be two parts to it. One, you give the background. Second, you put what kind of information or the output that you desire. But then to design this, there are certain tools that you can see, and one being Jinja 2 template engine, which helps you facilitate the definition of prompts also. Now, what is prompt with the example? We have already done that, but I'm just taking it through. Like, did you hear me? He prompted when his friend did not respond to his first question. It also happens that when you don't get the answer from the prompt in one go, you say, no, this is not what I've asked. Help me with this thing. This is again one major question which I have been seeing or I have been getting in my classes. That I don't have any experience with the prompting. Can I become a prompt engineer? Can a fresher becomes a prompt engineer? Well, it's about the technical skills that you need to develop, some of the programming skills in languages, and you can become a prompt engineer. Technical skills are kind of crucial from the prompt engineer career, because the kind of need that we have seen of prompt engineer, they need to know about the natural language processing also, on which these all AI models are based. I'll talk about those programming languages also, because I know some of you might be saying that I'm not from the programming background. So is it utmost necessity for me to learn these? Some of these languages, yes. For your own use, just for the productivity enhancement and everything, it's not required, because you and I all can use it. But when you get onto this position as a prompt engineer, there are certain expectations in terms of the languages also from you, which we will just discuss. And is there a future for prompt engineering? Is the same question which I'm going to rephrase and ask you. Is there a future for AI? Or are we living in an AI world now? I know the answer is yes. So basically, it's there because we keep on refining these interactions with AI systems to produce best responses. Hence, there is a future. There has been one study which I want to share with you, that when we have checked for the IQ of an AI, it is nearing towards the human IQ. It's not, it has not surpassed it yet, but is nearing to the IQ of a human. But it is more than an average human IQ. That's also there. So look for it, and it's going to be really helpful. So the languages that I was talking about too, that gets used in prompt engineering are Java, Python, and C++. And while we're talking about the programming languages, I want to tell you all that Programming Hub have got their specific apps are also already there, and some of you have been using it and are learning it from there. For the first time, we have introduced these live classes. Like, I am here today to teach you on the prompt engineering. There are very polished teachers who will be coming and teaching you on Python, Java, C++, and multiple other courses with the gold membership which is out there. Today's session I'm taking to tell you that this is how it looks like when you join Programming Hub Gold. And this is on request that we have done, that people wanted to have a trial of how the gold classes work. So do check out the gold membership post this session. Now, what is prompt engineering in simple terms? I've already told you it is just for refining the large language systems, which we call it as LLMs, with the specific prompts and recommended outputs. So we want to process we want to refine the input so that we get the best output to ourselves, whether it is to generate text, images, videos, whatever that you need. Now, what is prompt code? I think I'll skip this for today, but then just give you a small idea. It is used if the user wants to input a value before entering a page. Basically, it's for the display of a dialog box with an optional message prompting the user to input some text. We put some code, it will give me a dialog box in which I will be writing the prompt, and then it will give me the answer. Similar to something called prompt message default. This is the message which I will get as a default to myself. Now, what is prompt language? So it's a custom programming language designed for the use inside GPT-4 prompts and AI interaction. See, whatever we have written in this ChatGPT chat box just few minutes before, when we wanted to know about the civilization, how it will be, non-human civilization, how it will be, the kind of resources or how they will survive. We have written just in plain English, right? We have written it in English, and the AI model has given us the output. So prompt language is very simple. It's human readable syntax so that it can integrate with various platforms, including APIs, and it's a data easy approach. You and I cannot be expected to understand the binary codes or to write the prompting in the binary codes or any other programming language for that matter. Rather, it's a very human readable syntax that we provided to get the output that we need. And because of this only, I think the usage is so high. How many of you think like this comes to one of the curiosity question that just pops into my head. How many of you think that before we started having this human readable syntax or feeding human readable syntax to the AI, people behind developing AI models have been using binary language or any other language for that matter? How many of you think that was the case? And if you think that and you're not sure, I would again say write a prompt in the chat box or in your GPT-4 or whatever AI that you use. You can use Perplexity also, it's also free. Or you can use Gemini by Google and see what kind of results do you get. And please do share it with the community out right here. Now, but there are certain challenges also, and I have seen that by myself. So sometimes it happens there are some mathematical errors that keeps on coming. There is a technical challenge that we have seen, that is model. Just give me a moment. I think there is a sound. I'm so sorry. That was one of the alarm from my, but yeah. So prompt engineering involves dealing with these complex AI models, right? There are certain algorithms, there are large data sets, but then what are we trying to do? There are certain challenges that we face as a, in terms of the technicalities, basically. That is always happen because it's a system, right? And system will have technical challenges to itself, which could be model optimization, data pre-processing, handling biases, and it could be demanding and time consuming as well sometimes. Though we are here to learn about this prompting and everything so that we enhance our productivity, we get the time reduced to get the output. But sometimes it happens the kind of responses that we get from the AI models is not appropriate. For example, when GPT-3 has been launched, it has data till 2021. Later on, they have put up GPT-4, which has more advanced data. So now, with multiple, with the evolution of this thing, these challenges are decreasing. But then, so because it's a technical product, there are certain technicalities or technical errors that can come. And majorly that I have seen personally, I don't know if you have experienced it also, do share it in the chat box. That is, there are a lot of mathematical errors that I have seen, specifically with the GPT-4, to be honest. I have to ask him, like, do you think it's correct? And then it says, I'm sorry, I have overlooked on this thing. Then it will give me the correct answer. So it's not like that you get the output and it's going to be 100% correct. You have to have a look at it as well. And once, and that is also part of your prompt, you can mention it, that double check it while you are providing with me this answer. Now, how do you start a prompt? Of course, we have already seen this, and I'm just going to repeat it again because that's what it is all about. Introducing a topic or writing the situation when we are explaining the background or to orient the student to the topic. Then second one is to brainstorm and make a personal connection, the kind of humanizing response if you need, because what is the difference between you and I writing a same prompt and getting different outputs? Because I'll be putting some of the flavor of how I think in my prompting. Similarly, you will also put that, and then you put up the task purpose on the audience for which you are designing the, or you want the output for. Okay, this is another question. Coding I've already asked. Like there are certain languages that we prefer for the prompt engineer to know. Does prompt engineer needs math also? So to compensate with the AI inaccuracies. Now this is something which I don't know whether you have heard before or not, but there are inaccuracies in the responses generated by the AI also. And to compensate on that front, prompt engineers must have excellent numeracy because they can check and they can spot those mathematical errors and gives you the better or accurate output that you are looking for. So your instructions will have if the instructions will have the proper formulas or patterns, you will likely to get better response from there. Hence, you need maths. So people who are afraid of maths now start learning. Sorry, it will be really helpful. Now, can anyone study prompt engineering, or do I need to have a prerequisite to myself? I've already told you that there are certain languages that you need. So you need to have a good or strong hold with supremacy or numeracy, but then uh, it is open to all the learners from all backgrounds. It doesn't need any traditional engineering skills. So I hope who all are engineers here is also one question that I would want to ask you. And I'll be looking at the chat responses by the end of this session, which we are nearing. So I would really appreciate if you are putting up all your responses there. What are prompt levels? So there are multiple prompt levels. We talk about verbal, gestural, and positional prompts. So it is basically dependent on the AI model that we're working on. And it's generally starts with the physical prompts and then progresses towards verbal, gestural, and positional prompts. And over time, people become more independent in completing the task. So that's how the goal of the prompts work. Now, what is the first step? We have already mentioned the first step, how we go ahead. We talk with a clear goal in our mind. We reflect on to the requirements. We mention it to the AI model, and that's how we move ahead. Now, what is prompt skill? It's the art and science of crafting these prompts that will give you the valuable responses from AI models like ChatGPT and Claude. Okay, since we have audience across the world, I want to ask which of you are using ChatGPT, how many of you have been using Claude, and if you have used both, which one you think is better? So that's all about today's session. Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to today's masterclass on prompt engineering. I hope you're able to see me and my voice is very clear to you. If not, I'll just want you guys to up your stream volume and we will be starting with our today's masterclass on prompt engineering. So, as you know, today AI